This week, we're finally finishing a massive stone wall, showing you how we built it and how much it cost. We're also going to be completing the exterior cladding of our tiny house using our beautiful thermowood. Oh, and we've got a massive, really exciting update on our main house. So, let's get started.
And here we are again. Last week we did this wall, and this week I expect to do the whole house because I'm full of energy and Ada is coming back this week. You just watched me doing this a little part of this wall. These cuts are really easy because they're just straight and they just go one after the other. But the time I spent to do 10 of them is the same time that I spent to do one cut that I'm gonna do right now next to the door, which is much more hard to do. To make the cuts around doors and windows, I first place the full board in position. Then I use other pieces of wood to help mark the exact cutting lines. Once marked, I cut it using the circular saw and jigsaw. After that, I slot the cut piece back into place and continue with the rest. With the trickiest cut done, it's time for the straight cuts, which, as I said, are much quicker. I just cut them all the same size and fit them in. For the door area, I cut both the pieces below and above the frame. Meanwhile, our friend Thiago and his uncle were finishing up the wall.
E aí, como é que tá o muro? Fala aí.
Muro 5 estrelas já, porreirinho, tudo direitinho, aqui tudo à maneira, hein?
Sim.
Tudo aqui, falta agora acabar aqui um bocadito e está breve terminado, hein?
Sim. E como é que tá trabalhar no sol aí?
Hoje só um bocado de calor, um bocado de calor, 35 graus.
And that idea about the bunker, I think I'm gonna do that later, not now, because it's not that simple. The container is not made to carry weight on the sides and on the top. The structure, the real structure of the container is on its corners. That's where they put containers on top of each other. And if I wanted to put earth on top on the sides of the container, that would not be good. So it's not that very simple. So I'm not doing that idea right now. But those guys are finishing here until the container, our stone wall, and that will be for the stone wall for now.
They were laying the final stones. Some of the rocks had to go behind the wall to add stability. To make the whole thing more solid, Thiago drove the excavator over the top and compacted the soil behind it.
And while I'm doing the work here, Thiago is opening a little bit more space to put more land behind the wall, because we need land touching the wall. And yeah, let's see how he's doing.
The wall is nearly finished, but I still have a lot to do on the tiny house. This is one of the most satisfying jobs we've done so far on the tiny house. It's amazing to see it all come together with the materials that will remain visible long term. And this wood is just stunning. I think we made a perfect choice.
Another day without Ada. I'm feeling lonely. But let's go. It's so hot. It's easily at least 35 degrees today. And I had to put all my equipment, all the tools in the shade. I don't have much shade here. It's kind of hard, but we're almost finishing this wall. Once we finish this wall, everything will be so easy because there will be no more, just a few, like 2 windows more. And this wall and the other wall there were the hardest ones because of the windows and the door. I had to do all of these cuts. From now on will be all easy. So let's crack on, and Thiago is cracking on as well with the cement to put on the wall.
It's been so hot in Portugal lately. I really hope we don't have wildfires this summer like we did last year.
What do you have, man? What do you... What?
I'm working on the final cuts for this wall, and now it's time for the tricky part around the window. Here I had to make a very thin angle cut. It's thin because it needs to fit behind the metal window sill. And it's not so easy. I tried once, but it didn't fit properly, so I widened the cut a little with the jigsaw and tried again. And it worked. That one piece took me around 30 minutes. Meanwhile, Thiago and his uncle were mixing cement to finish the wall details. They load the cement into the excavator and they transport it to where it's needed. Then they apply the final finish with a smooth cement layer.
Second wall done. For me, it was the second most difficult wall because it has the door and 2 windows, the kitchen and the toilet window. So it's very complicated to do all the measurements. But with this done, let's go for the third wall, which is the easiest one because there's no windows, no angles, not anything. But first, we have to do the buttons. Let's go.
We have a small problem, but I think I have the solution.
If you're watching this build since the beginning, you probably remember the part that I said that when I was doing the measurements for this wall, I miss up a little bit, like 2 centimeters. So this wall has an overhang of 2 centimeters.
You can't really see because of our house wrap, but if I stretch the house wrap, you see the 2 centimeters, and that's bad for the buttons. So what I did, I took this piece of button of 2 centimeters and I'm gonna put here on this part every 40 centimeters and nail the button with this part, and that should make it flush.
It worked. Time now to get going.
That's all for today. I made a little bit over the half of the wall and it's 8 o'clock now. I could do more. I could complete this wall if I push until 9 o'clock, but I realized that if I push until 9 o'clock, I'll get tired tomorrow. I don't want to get tired tomorrow. So I was thinking that by pushing today, I'll still be good tomorrow to still have more progress tomorrow, and every day I could still go, I could work until like 9, 10 o'clock, but no, I have to save my energy for tomorrow. So that's it for today, and shower time. And after a long day of work, it's finally shower time. The same shorts, but it's not the same pants because I'm gonna work tomorrow again, so why I'm gonna change the shorts.
Good morning, and congratulations to whoever invented this. And we have some good news. Eda is back from her trip. I really missed her.
And Eda has arrived.
Guys, I'm back. I was on holiday. I was on a girls' trip in Sicily and it was honestly super relaxing. Had 1 week with the girls, swimming in crystal clear waters, drinking wine, eating seafood. It was very relaxing.
Nice.
And I did feel bad. I was actually thinking of Elias a lot while he was sweating his butt off installing this by himself, but I'm really impressed. Honestly, the fact that he did this by himself, I've come here today for the first time to see how it looks. It looks incredible. The corners, the windows,
the corners are looking,
all the cuts are super straight.
yes.
I'm really impressed. I'm really proud.
And I'm glad you came back because now you're gonna help me finish this wall here. Let's go.
We just started working again when we got a phone call that we'd been waiting for a while. We're gonna have to take a break quickly because we actually have some really good news about a builder that we found. Yeah, our hopes are quite high, but also we have our expectations. We need to keep our expectations low basically, but we are hopeful. We're gonna go for a meeting with him now and talk about the price, talk about his time frame, when he's available. So hopefully we'll be speaking to you guys in an hour or two and we'll have some good news. Let's see. I'm gonna keep myself calm, but I am really excited.
On the next day...
Good morning.
Morning.
It was a very, very successful meeting with our hopefully new builder that we found. We had a really good talk and we went over all the costs, we went over the design, and we don't want to talk too much about it and get you guys hyped up because we did that before, and we thought we've closed the deal, but this guy seems very trustworthy, very honest, a man of his word. So
Yes, we don't want to give a lot of details. We want to finish, do the contract with him first,
yeah, sign the contract first.
and be 100% sure that he's going to do the house and when he's going to do the house, to then give you 100% details on that.
But just to mention that it all went more, the expectation was higher than I thought. So yeah, really pleased, but we'll give you guys updates on that in the upcoming future.
Yes. Let's go to work.
So obviously I had the best time in Sicily. It was so nice to be on the beach, relaxing with the girls. But the one thing I was thinking about was I'm going to be missing one of the most satisfying parts of the build, which is putting on the cladding. For me, that's like, it's like the cherry on top of the cake, you know. You've done all the ugly bits, the hard work, and underneath it was this grey waterproof membrane, the house wrap, you know. It doesn't look pretty with loads of tape all over it. So yeah, that was the one thing that I was really excited to do. At least I got to do like a little portion of it with Eliezer today. So I just love the way that this looks. I think it looks so sleek, so stylish, classic. It just looks like a real tiny house. I don't know, when you put the cladding on, it really pieces everything together. So I'm loving it. And another thing I'm loving is the smell. It smells like fresh, clean sauna. I love that smell. Yeah, we've just got this the last end bit there, and then we are done with this thermowood. After that, we've got to do the cladding on the top. But so, what are you doing now?
I'm doing a cut,
Yeah,
customized for this window back there,
the back window. Yeah,
The
the
back
fixed
window.
window. Yeah.
and it's a bit different cut than all the other windows, because I'm gonna show you now.
In my opinion, all of the window cuts are really complicated and hard to do, because obviously you don't want to waste the wood, and you need to make it look clean. Obviously we're going to have some fittings around the edges, but it's not easy. What was the most difficult part of doing this by yourself when I wasn't here?
Well, I guess to be confident on what I was doing. To start the first wall was really hard, because to gain this confidence of this really good material, very expensive, I don't want to mess with that and then have to do it all again. So that's the first thing, and then all the window cuts as well, they're really hard, but that's all.
Okay. And then we realized our first major mistake.
So we got our first major mistake of the whole cladding. That is, on this part, guys, we have 3 centimeters more, so we had to cut it like that. On the other part, it looks flush, and I'm gonna show you this now. Jump to the other side. See, our thermal wood begins here and stays flush, and then it goes straight all the way around. Not very straight though, because on the other side we have 3 centimeters more. But it's a little mistake, but for us this matters.
This mistake likely happened because we were aligning the cladding based on a level, but we've moved the tiny house twice and we never really re-leveled it perfectly, so we ended up with a 3 centimeter difference. I know 3 centimeters doesn't sound like much, but visually it can make a real difference. But we have to remember that this is our very first real project. Just 1 year ago, we didn't even know what a miter saw was. The final piece to the puzzle.
Yes, look, that's the last time you're gonna see our buttons and house wrap.
Well, yeah.
And let's go.
So, after a long few days of me working under the sun, sweating for hours on end in Sicily, no, it's been a roller coaster of a ride, but 80% of the cladding is done. The wood is installed. The thermal wood is basically all on the tiny. Give them a view. Step out the way. Da-da-da-da! Obviously, we still have the other parts of the cladding that we're going to install later on, probably next week. So that's going to be that's going to be the same material as the roof, just to give it a bit of a contrast, give it a bit of a unique look. But we absolutely love how this has turned out. It looks like
It looks really good.
so nice.
Some parts that we really liked are the angles and as well as the windows. Some parts that we didn't like is that the 3 centimeter gap that we
Yes.
miscalculated, and you can see from the top the 3 centimeters and down as well. You can see the bottom, the 3 centimeters is all difference, but that happens. It's our first time doing that. So
Yeah, it's our first time installing this type of cladding, and you know what? Mistakes happen. Luckily, it's on the back side of the wall, so nobody's gonna actually kind of see that. So for me, it's okay. It's just one little 3 centimeters. Nobody's gonna see it. It looks great from the front.
yes.
That's the most important. And yeah, we're absolutely over the moon with this thermo wood. Honestly, it looks amazing. It smells amazing, and hopefully it will last for a really long time.
Hopefully.
This cladding really brought so much life to the tiny house, and it's going to look even better once we oil it. These are all of the leftover boards. In total, there's about 18 pieces, and we'll still use a lot of them for the window details. And these are all of the offcuts. So in the end, we won't have much waste at all. I absolutely love the way the sunlight hits the wood. It gives the house such a natural look and blends in so nicely with the surrounding landscape. It also pairs so perfectly with a metal roof. Honestly, I'm so happy with how it's looking. And while we're nearly done with the exterior of our tiny house, our stone wall is now finally complete.
Então, Thiago, fala aí, depois de tanto tempo de trabalho,
Quanto tempo de trabalho? Isso foi... Não,
4 semanas?
semana de trabalho.
mês para fazer esse muro gigante de quantos metros? Acho que é
60?
50 ou 60 metros
Sim.
de comprimento.
E uns 2,5, 3 de
Aqui temos,
média de altura.
A média dele é 2,70, 2,80. Aqui temos
Sim.
mais.
Eu amo também que não é só quadrado, tem essas peças aqui que são muito rústico, aleatório.
Sim, tem essa vista aqui com a tiny house aqui em cima. Quando isso aqui ficar verdinho vai ficar muito bonito. E em breve a casa aqui.
Vem pra cá, vovó.
Nossa, não sabia que era assim. Uau!
Ó, então o Thiago, esse cara que trabalha muito bem, fez um muro muito bem feito. Ele e o tio dele veio aqui, fizeram o muro. Cara, trabalho excelente. A gente está muito satisfeito com o trabalho e a gente vai chamar ele mais vezes.
E eu muito satisfeito com os clientes que arranjei de novo.
Ah,
Muito bom.
Gente boa mesmo.
Muito bom trabalho, obrigado.
E gente séria.
Sim, dá certo. Valeu.
Obrigada.
Obrigada. With the wall finished, we can give you a full tour and break down how much this cost us. Also, a huge update now that Thiago is officially finished with our amazing stone wall, and we wanted to show you guys the results and a couple other bits of information which maybe if you guys are building a stone wall will be helpful. So obviously it starts here, so you've got the road down to the main house where we're going to build later on in the year, and then obviously the tiny house. So actually it's in its full size, I think it would be roughly around 50 to 60 meters. Starting here, I'd say it's like less than half a meter, and it goes up to 3 meters tall. And like a wall like this is not easy to build, and especially thinking back that me and Elias even had the thought of trying to build a wall like this. That's just crazy. In total, it took Thiago about a month to build this wall, and that was a month of work. He had to take 2 weeks off because there was a lack of stones, and I can't believe it because Portugal is the country of granite and stone. But yeah, everyone seems to be building stone walls right now, so that was the one challenge that we had, but also didn't really get in the way too much of things. So in total, it took him a month to build this, and obviously we decided to go with 2 types of stones. We chose the blue stone and the yellow stone. In Portugal you have different types. You can do all blue or all yellow or a mixture of them both. So we did that because it was more cost effective. One really cool thing that we decided to do for the future is install these pipes, I guess, for lights, so we can have some really cool spotlights. Because what he did also on top of the stone is it's like this flatter, thinner finishing stone, and I just think it really completes the whole wall. It makes it really look put together, which I absolutely love. As I was saying, this is not easy work, and saying that, when Thiago started to get the deliveries, he started getting the deliveries of like 1.5 ton stones, like huge stones that obviously he had to cut manually with a saw into 3 or 4 pieces. So each stone here is pretty much cut to a unique size to fit perfectly into the wall. And there's different methods actually of building stone walls. We decided that we wanted a more rustic look, so you do actually have an option to fill this with concrete to give it more of like a polished look. But we like the spaces, and we also thought that next year and through the seasons there'll be pockets of green and flowers, and I don't know, let's see how that develops. Maybe we like it, maybe we don't, but we absolutely love how it looks right now. So obviously they're all super secure. One other thing as well is that obviously you have all of these stones, but behind these stones there's more stones compacted down with earth that he drove over the digger and packed everything together using the water here to really make everything super compact, super firm, and really solid. So this ain't going anywhere. I hope so. We can really tell now that Thiago knows what he's doing, because if you look straight down the wall, you can see there's no big rocks hanging out, there's no big, it's perfectly aligned all the way around the corner as well. And they did that with such accuracy. I'm super impressed. And this is just perfectly aligned, so it looks super clean. It's so professional. Obviously he was a professional, but I'm just absolutely in love with the result. Now we are at the tallest point of the wall. This is maybe 3 meters, maybe a little bit over, and then because we didn't want 3 meters all the way around, he just made this kind of half a meter dip to bring it back down. And it was just it's really smooth, you don't really notice it too much. And then this is where you've got this amazing curve. I feel like this gives the road, like the entrance to the wall now to our land, such like a grand entrance. I love it. So you come around the corner and then it still continues another 20-30 meters. So this has now left us with so much space. We kind of don't know what to do with ourselves. It's insane to think of how this place looked before. When we bought this place last year, I cannot even tell you how much we've transformed it. This is some serious landscaping, a seriously amazing wall, a massive upgrade to land, and I just love it. I think it just looks so good. So we're approaching the end of the wall here, and if you guys were here since the days we built that absolutely wobbly pergola, you will realize how knackered and just not very it wasn't a very nice wall, and also a lot of you guys were really in the comments warning us, guys, you need to put a retaining wall in. Look at the difference, look at this. We have no ugly pergola, we have no ugly scraped wall with the excavator. We now have this absolutely beautiful digger crafted wall that's going to be here forever.
Yeah, that's a forever.
This is crazy. So it kind of stops abruptly here because obviously we have the container, and we told Thiago to stop at this point because we need to figure out, we've got some stuff behind the container as well that needs sorting, and we needed to kind of hold on with the budget because it was a little bit more than we expected to pay for. Totally worth it, but still, we needed to hold on to the budget a little bit. I wanted to show you guys how he puts the stones. So you can see this layer of the stone, but then also you have these big stones as well behind it, already supporting the wall. So this it's not going anywhere. It's super, super strong.
Yeah, this is the stone wall for now. It completely transformed our rough land that we had before, everything abandoned.
Rugged.
Yes, to you look like this place, someone's taking care of this place now.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm really happy with that. And yeah.
It looks like it's really it's kind of transforming into our Portuguese quinta.
Yes.
Here in Portugal, everyone has quintas and everybody also has stone walls. So this is just one major upgrade to the land, and there's gonna be so many more to come. I'm so loving it. I love it.
Yes. Now, what the costs?
Yes.
Everyone wants to know how much this was.
Everybody wants to know how much we paid for this.
So, costs.
Okay, let's go over to the numbers. We already covered the cost of the cladding in the previous video. This week, we didn't have any new expenses for the tiny house. So each truckload of stones cost us 500 euros. At this point, we've really lost count of how many truckloads of stones have arrived, but the wall is around 60 meters long and 2.7 meters high on average. That gives us a total area of 162 square meters. So the total cost of the wall was 14,997 euros. So 15k. So that's everything for this week's video. We're really loving the progress. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and we'll see you in the next video.
See you next video every week.